Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. The incident we're discussing today took place towards the end of 2023 in Astana, the capital of Kazakhstan. Kuandyk Bishimbayev, a former economy minister, is at the center of it all. It's alleged that he severely harmed his wife, Saltanat Nukenova, leading to her tragic death. According to the prosecution, Bishimbayev is responsible for Saltanat's demise. This viewpoint finds widespread agreement among the Russian-speaking community worldwide. However, Bishimbayev's camp offers a different version of events. They claim that on the night in question, Bishimbayev's actions were minimal, just a few slaps to the face and a kick to the buttocks. They argue that these actions could not have caused Saltanat's death, citing the fact that she fell repeatedly while drunk and eventually sustained fatal injuries. "She was up and down again and again," recounted the ex-minister of Kazakhstan, his voice echoing with an eerie calmness. "At some point, her body couldn't take it, and she fell and hit her face on the tiled floor again." But is that really what happened? Did Sultanat Nukenova really fall and fatally injure herself? Or could it be the result of the alleged 8 hours of torture she endured before her death? Let's delve into this perplexing case. The stakes are high as justice hangs in the balance in this chilling narrative of a murder that captured the nation's attention. Saltanat grew up in a loving family. Her parents sacrificed a lot to send her and her brother to study abroad for a better future. Once she finished her education, Saltanat found a passion for astrology and started a new career. She owned an Instagram page, offered consultations to clients, and successfully ran her own business. Saltanat's parents and friends describe her as kind, cheerful, and sociable. She had big dreams, one of which was to become a TV presenter. Saltanat had strict rules for her clients. She didn't work with unmarried men and preferred to advise women. So when Kuandyk Bishimbayev found Saltanat on social media, he deceitfully sent his female assistant to her and accompanied her to the appointment. Over time, Saltanat found herself drawn to Kuandyk's persistent pursuit. Despite her initial hesitation, she couldn't resist his affection and fell deeply in love. Their relationship progressed quickly. Less than 6 months later, in December 2022, they had a Muslim wedding ceremony, though it wasn't legally registered. Saltanat shared her happiness on her social media page, writing, "I have the most amazing husband. I've never regretted saying yes." Shortly after the wedding, Bishimbayev's true colors surfaced. Less than a month later, on New Year's Eve, he flipped the family table. Understanding what led to this behavior can be complex. According to Saltanat's brother, who was present at the festive dinner, Bishimbayev's demeanor that evening was notably sour. He recounted the events of that night as follows. Bishimbayev seemed to be in a foul mood. Driven by anger, he abruptly left the guests and Saltanat behind, disappearing for a while. Meanwhile, as the clock struck midnight, heralding the arrival of the new year, Bishimbayev's children from a previous marriage discovered gifts under the tree and asked Saltanat if they could open them. She agreed. Upon Bishimbayev's return, he was visibly upset to find that the children had opened the gifts without his consent. In a fit of anger, he flipped the table laden with food in front of all the guests. This was the first manifestation of anger that Saltanat's brother saw. Right from the start of Saltanat's marriage, Bishimbayev controlled her every step. He prevented her from interacting with her family and friends. The once cheerful and outgoing woman withdrew from everyone and started to fade away from social circles. Bishimbayev obsessively monitored her every action and falsely accused her of misdeeds. He tracked her location, read her messages, and even stopped her from working. Saltanat's passion for astrology became off-limits, and Bishimbayev prohibited her from using social media. Money became a tool for exerting control. Soon, the control turned into regular beatings from her jealous husband. In March 2023, Saltanat sent her brother photos showing her badly beaten face. Unable to contact her, he confronted Bishimbayev, leading to a fight. In court, Saltanat's brother talked about that night, saying he begged Saltanat to leave her husband, but she insisted on staying, thinking she could save their marriage. On the evening of November 8, 2023, Bishimbayev and Saltanat went to a concert by the Russian singer Dima Bilan. But the fun night turned sour when Bishimbayev got in a bad mood. They left the concert early and went to a restaurant owned by Bishimbayev's family. According to the prosecutor, that night, Saltanat finally gathered the courage to tell Bishimbayev she was leaving him and tried to call a taxi to leave. But Bishimbayev wouldn't let her go. The prosecutor said, Bishimbayev, trying to show how much Saltanat depended on him, started to yell at her about the things and jewelry he bought for her. In a fit of anger, Saltanat took off all her clothes except her underwear and jewelry, throwing them in the hall. This infuriated Bishimbayev. As the night went on, Bishimbayev's anger got worse, leading to physical violence. He started attacking Saltanat, hitting her in the body and head, pulling her hair and saying hurtful things. By 6 a.m., a drunk Bishimbayev forcefully dragged Saltanat out of the VIP room, trying to take her home. But they couldn't leave because a parking security guard stopped them, so they went back to the restaurant. Back at the restaurant, Bishimbayev kept brutally beating Saltanat in the corridor. The terrible attack was recorded in the lobby. After satisfying his violent urges, he pulled Saltanat into a VIP booth where there were no cameras. What happened in the VIP booth remains a mystery. Saltanat never came out of there again. From this point on, Bishimbayev's actions raise questions that he wanted to hide Saltanat's body and make it seem like she vanished without a trace. According to Bishimbayev's account, his wife was drunk and asleep in a VIP cabin, snoring and unwilling to wake up. Later, it was discovered that Saltanat was in extreme pain, making wheezing sounds due to a traumatic brain injury and brain hemorrhage. As Saltanat's condition worsened, Bishimbayev sought guidance from his astrologer on how to handle the situation. The astrologer's advice was that Saltanat simply needed to rest and sleep it off. Following this, Bishimbayev invited his brother, restaurant director Bakitjan Byzhanov, to dinner. Byzhanov sent the restaurant staff home and deleted the restaurant's CCTV footage. He was also instructed to carry Saltanat's phone around the city to conceal her location. Around the same time, Bishimbayev met with Gulnara Nasirbekova. The meeting stretched for roughly 90 minutes, during which Gulnara mentioned that their discussion solely revolved around potential advertising integration. When queried about whether she observed any indications of physical injury, like scrapes or bruises on Bishimbayev's fists, Gulnara asserted that she did not pay attention to it. After their meeting, Gulnara sent him a message saying, "You smell like roses." Despite Gulnara's assertion that the message was sent to the wrong person, some believe there might have been a hidden message within it. Additionally, because Gulnara bears a resemblance to Saltanat, there are suspicions that Bishimbayev intended to create the illusion that Saltanat had left the restaurant and vanished into the city. The ambulance was called more than 12 hours after the beating. Experts concluded Saltanat had died at least 6 to 8 hours before being found. Bishimbayev was arrested on the same day. The phrase, "hitting means loving," is a well-known expression among Russian-speaking communities. Its origin is not definitively known, but some sources suggest its roots may lie in the baptism of Russes. After the adoption of Christianity, there emerged an idea that women were seen as irrational or even inherently evil, needing constant correction. This idea led to the establishment of a tradition of corrective beatings in everyday life, which it was believed wives should endure. This concept was not present in pagan times. In pagan society, women were regarded as equal members and were under the protection of their families even after marriage. As a result, certain segments of the Russian-speaking community exhibit a concerning level of tolerance towards physical violence against women. Tragically, even in modern times, thousands of women continue to endure beatings. Meanwhile, some individuals raise a valid question. Why didn't Saltanat leave her husband after enduring a series of relentless beatings? Well, she actually did it. Saltanat made attempts to leave Bishimbayev several times, even renting an apartment months before her tragic death. During the trial, another terrible truth was revealed. Saltanat was manipulated by Bishimbayev. First, he tricked her into making a sex video. He promised that they would break up after this, but instead used the video to manipulate her. Bishimbayev threatened to publish the video on the internet if Saltanat tried to leave him. In Kazakhstan, honor and reputation, especially for women, are highly valued. Being involved in such videos can lead to societal pressure and criticism. This threat left Saltanat feeling trapped, unable to escape Bishimbayev's control. The trial unfolded live over the course of April. Bishimbayev faces charges of murder with extreme cruelty and torture. The investigative phase has concluded, transitioning to the stage of debate. While Bishimbayev admitted to assault, he denied allegations of premeditated murder with particular cruelty. During the trial, access to Bishimbayev's phone revealed several distressing videos depicting the final hours of Saltanat's life. In these recordings, Saltanat is seen sitting on the floor, bloodied and unclothed. Meanwhile, Bishimbayev repeatedly repeats the same question in a monotone voice. "Did you sleep with Raimbek Batalov?" He repeats these words a staggering 175 times. Eventually, Saltanat responds, "Yes, it turns out that I did." The forensic medical examination revealed that Saltanat Nukevova died from a closed craniocerebral injury accompanied by an acute subdural hematoma. During the trial, the senior assistant prosecutor presented evidence indicating the quantity of fluid discovered in Saltanat's skull. To clarify, she initially highlighted the lethal amount of fluid, which is 70 milliliters. However, the forensic medical examination of Saltanat revealed a staggering 230 milliliters of liquid present, which is over 3 times the lethal dose. It has come to light that this is not the first time Bishimbayev has faced legal repercussions. In 2017, he was arrested on charges of receiving a large-scale bribe, misappropriation, and embezzlement. Subsequently, in 2018, he was sentenced to 10 years in prison, along with property confiscation and a lifelong ban from holding public office. However, Bishimbayev was granted parole and released from prison in 2019. The judicial debate in the case of former Minister Kuandyk Bishimbayev, who is accused of murder, concluded on May 4, 2024, at the Criminal Court of Astana. Following 3 days of jury deliberations, the next phase of the trial will be conducted behind closed doors. Judge Nukenova stated that during the first part of the debate, the parties focused on determining whether the defendant's guilt had been established. The second part of the debate is anticipated to be particularly intense, as it will delve into the qualification of the defendant's actions and address sentencing considerations. A lengthy and cynical narrative depicting family life, in which Kuandyk Bishimbayev attempted to portray Saltanat as a drinking-kept woman of affluent men, sparked widespread outrage in society. In response, a social media uproar ensued. The hashtag for Saltanat quickly gained traction, as women across the platform began posting photos of themselves with glasses of wine alongside the caption, "Just because you see me with a glass of wine, it doesn't mean you can kill me." The movement served as a poignant reminder of the dangerous implications of victim blaming and the urgent need to combat gender-based violence. It echoed the sentiment that a person's choices, appearance, or lifestyle should never justify or excuse violence against them. On April 15, 2024, President of Kazakhstan signed into law the Saltanat Law, officially titled On Amendments and Additions to Certain Legislative Acts of the Republic of Kazakhstan on Ensuring Women's Rights and Children's Safety. This law is aimed at enhancing women's rights and safeguarding children's well-being. Before we sign off, I'd like to take a moment to express my deepest sympathy to the family and loved ones of Sultanat Nukenova. May you find strength and solace in the midst of this tragedy, and may justice prevail in your journey forward. You are not alone, and we are here to support you every step of the way. Thank you all for your attention to today's video. Your support and participation is very important to me, so be sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay updated on future videos. By subscribing, you will join a community dedicated to shining a light on important issues in Russian-speaking community. Together, we can make a difference. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care and stay informed.